Hey guys, so I was bought a book for Christmas and I've been reading it. I've gone through a couple of of pages, but I thought I'd do a review on what I've read already and who's in it. It's called 100 Most Infamous Criminals, Murder, Mystery, Mayhem by Joe Durden Smith. 100 Most Infamous Criminals is an astounding compendium of crimes and their perpetrators. The range of crimes is extraordinary, from the bizarre to the horrific and from the heartbreaking to the ridiculous. The book includes some of history's most infamous criminals and tells in vivid detail the story of the lives they led, the crimes they committed, and the destruction and sorrow they left in their wake, from the unsolved horror of Jack the Ripper to the king of the gangsters Al Capone. Ted Bundy and Harold Shipman, the book details each terrible crime as well as offering fascinating photographs and artworks. 100 Most Infamous Criminals is a gripping and compelling portrait of the darker side of life and reveals the strange and grisly stories behind the world's most infamous murderers, swindlers and crooks. You can see some of the photographs there, and when you go through there are a couple of pictures in there. So I've only got that far through so far. My little bookmark. Okay, so I'll read the inscription bits. One sec. Right, there's no inscription. Contents. So the contents show. Yeah, unfortunately my children have got hold of it, but it shows the International, United States, United Kingdom and Australia. So contents. International. Sada Abi, Ida Amin, Countess Elizabeth Bathory, Jean Bedel Bakusa, Cesar Borgia, Andrei Shikatali, Tilo, Josef Fritzl, Fritz Harman, Ivan the Terrible, Bella Kiss, Eil Koch, Joachim Kroll, Peter Curtin, Henry Landrew, Lucky Luciano, Count Victor Lustig, Shizu Matsusoko, aka Shoko Azara, Yakis Mezrine, Robert Picton, Anders Berek Breivik, that's the international ones. United States, Alberto Anastasia, Joe Ball, that's as far as I got so far in the book is Joe Ball, Mark Barker, David Berkowitz, Kenneth Bianchi and Angelo Buono, Billy the Kid, Lizzie Borden, Jerry Brudos, Ted Bundy, Al Capone, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, David Chapman, Carol Chessman, D.B. Cooper, Dean Carroll, Juan Corona, Jeffrey Dahmer, Giza de Caplani, Albert DeSalvo, John Dillinger, Albert Fish, John Wayne Gacy, Carmine Galante, Ed Gein, Belle Gunness, Gary Heidnick, William Hyrens, Jesse James, Robert James, Reverend Jim Jones, Ted Kaczynski, Ed Kemper, Meyer Lansky, Nathaniel Leopold and Richard Loeb, Louis Lepke, Timothy McVie, Charles Manson, Walter Lee Romoody, Herman Mudger aka H.H. Holmes, Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow, Richard Ramirez, Gary Ridgway, Charles Schmidt, Dutch Schultz, Bugsy Siegel, Richard Speck, Brenda Spencer, Charles Starkweather and Carol Ann Fugate, Robert Stroud, Dr. John White Webster, Philip Garrido, Wayne Williams and Eileen Wernos. The UK, Ian Brady and Myra Hindley, William Burke and William Hare, John Christie, Dr. Hawley Harvey Crippen, Claude Duval, Ruth Ellis, John Haig, Neville Heath, Jack the Ripper, the Cray Twins, Lord Lucan, Dennis Nielsen, William Palmer, Michael Ryan, Jack Shepherd, Dr. Harold Shipman, George Joseph Smith, Peter Sutcliffe, Dick Turpin, Fred and Rosemary West and Stephen Griffiths. Australia, Jack Donahoe, Ned Kelly, Catherine Knight, William MacDonald and Chopper Reed. Now they are all of the, that's the 100 infamous criminals. Each, I'll show you on this page, each person has between 1 to 2 pages each. Some of them have pictures in them as well. Let's see if I can find one now. Here, McVie. There we go. So they have some of the original pictures in there. Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. Was he the Night Stalker or the original Night Stalker? No, he was the Night Stalker, not the original Night Stalker. So once I finished reading it, I should be able to have a bit more of an insight into it. But I love true crime, history, certain histories anyway. So I like the history of like World War One and World War Two, military vehicles, ships like the Titanic, the Lusitania, the Mauretania, all of those type of ones that were turned. I like the history of ones that were passenger liners turned into warships for wartime. I like the history on castles. I think the only history I don't like is like the Tudors and Stuarts, because you learn that in school and it's boring. At least to me it's boring. But like history on animals, on certain humans, like this type of history on the criminals, unsolved murders, and anything to do with the paranormal. So I've been enjoying reading this. I basically read it at the moment on the bus for school run, because I've got to go at least half an hour before school comes out, otherwise I've got to walk 45 minutes up the road. So that's why I've only got so far through the book, but it is really interesting, especially the Robert Pickton one, which was the last one before the one I'm reading now, the last one in here, where he killed a load of people and fed them to his pigs on his farm. Interesting story. Really interesting on the fact that he had the piggy palace, and basically police officers were actually going there, not knowing that he was a mass murderer. It's that type of thing that gets your mind working on how didn't anybody notice any of this going on for over 15 years. But that's what this is about. It gives you the history of it. It tells you what's going on and how it ended. I'm not going to give away any more information on it. If you guys want to read it yourselves, I'm not sure exactly where you can get it from, but I do know you can get it from the works, and possibly W.H. Smith's, because I asked about a new copy of this because of the writing on it. Thanks, my children, and they didn't have any left. So I know the works definitely had them a couple of months ago. Not sure how much it is because it was a Christmas present. But that type of history I really like. So if you're interested in that book, please go out and buy it. It's a really interesting read. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.